if you guys have something to add, you guys should really speak up because youth voice is really what the world needs right now.
Mhm. Also, we do want to mention that there are some prizes that are going to be available. So there's going to be a $15 gift card to Amazon, and then $15 to Crumble Cookies, and $15 to Dutch Bros. So as long as you guys stay engaged, then those prizes will be available to you guys. So is there anything you guys want to add before we get started?
Could I ask what the topic we're going to talk about is?
Yeah, so today we have 3 topics that we're going to be talking about. The first one, we're going to go over a town hall meeting that there was here at REAP and students' perspective on that. So we did like some interviews. And then our second topic is going to be future of education and how new administration is impacting that. And then on a lighter note, our third topic, we're going to be talking about toppings on different foods. So yeah.
Okay. Topic 1, like Lupe said, we're going to be talking about student perspective on the town hall that we had. On March 22nd, we had a town hall meeting here, and we talked about some of the concerns happening in Portland.
On that note, we also interviewed students who attended the town hall meeting, and we got students from Alice Hop, Floyd White, and Franklin High School, and they just basically talked about the unsafetyness of bus stops in the Portland School District, and how people feel unsafe to be at the bus stops to get to school, and how there's like drug needles on the floor, homelessness, and just a bunch of unsafe things for students to be around. Another recurring topic was gun violence, spoken among the 3 students we interviewed. A quote that I really liked from one of our students that we interviewed is, "Don't be a product to your environment." So just don't feed into like the bad things that are happening, and like just stay away from it. Like don't be a product of your like the problems that are going around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On that note, a student from Floyd Light had some comments to say about that, about the needles in his bus stop. It's very unfortunate for the people who ride buses at Floyd Light, since, you know, they're middle schoolers and they're in such a harmful environment with all those needles around. I know some people are like, one of the students at Floyd Light said they had to walk farther to go to another bus stop, which was a little bit cleaner, but it still had some issues. And a quote that I have from him said, "Yeah, it was very annoying. It was mostly vans living around and homeless people at his bus stops." And I know if I was him, I would feel really frustrated with the people in the community for messing up the space where kids are picked up from school or dropped off from school.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? Do you guys have anything you guys want to add on that topic we just were covering?
I think one of the things that really hit me was one of the people that was talking from Franklin High. They said a couple weeks ago, I was followed home and some people attempted to jump me. That really spoke a lot about our community right now and how it's super unsafe, not necessarily for just youth, but also like all people in general. And it really hurts to hear that we still have violence going on in our communities. And I think a lot of it comes down to, I think, strong word, but segregation again, and just kind of picking on people because of who they are, and not necessarily like how they feel or like if they're human. Like just going back to alienating.
Yeah,
it's really, really sad to see.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any input on that?
I mean, yeah, in Beaverton, there's like a lot of things on like gangs and stuff, or like wannabe gangs. So like the whole jumping and like just people like alienating and isolating people and just like bullying and picking on them is just something that our community really needs to work on and just progress on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can also say the same for David Douglas. I know my school and the block has like a lot of homeless activity, and like every day you see like drugs or something being used. also in our school, in the bathroom, most specifically, there's mostly fights going on over there. And sometimes it's unsafe because we got people like unknown people walking through the school and like trying to find someone to fight them. And it's just something like really unsafe for our school. So,
I think a question that I have for that is, do you see anybody like intervening when it comes to like that sort of stuff? And that goes for anybody. Like, do you see anybody stepping in, or is it just kind of like oh, this happened, let's just move on?
honestly, yeah, it's like people just bystand. It's like a normal thing at our school, so nobody cares at this point. They try to up the security detail, but the security really doesn't care. Like someone just walk through and they just leave right after. So
Yeah.
it's very unsafe.
I think that, bystanders, they usually just see the fights. They don't try to intervene. They don't try to do anything. They just go on the side with their phone and record and just watch it as if it was like television or something, an entertainment. And I really think that people really need to do better and improve in order for our community to do better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that you use that word bystander. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the bystander effect. It's when you don't do anything or you don't do something about something because you believe that someone else is already doing something.
Yeah.
So an advice or something that I want to put out there is that you have to stand up for what you believe in because at the end of the day, like if you don't do it, nobody else will. So yeah. Sebastian and Amir, do you guys have any experiences like this at your schools?
Well, I know that at Tigard, I have seen a few people like going into the stalls and like vaping and stuff, but I don't feel like lots of people talk about it. And there's also a lot of vandalism at the school, like people just like throw doors off their hinges, and that's why some of our bathrooms are closed off because they need to get repaired. But I feel like people don't really like stand up or say anything about it because they're just afraid of getting like blamed for it.
And at my school, with like public transportation, I know like earlier in the school year, there was like a fight at a Mac station between two students. And there were like a lot of people bystanding there. And just like what I heard and saw was that a lot of people were recording. And some of my friends even went there to record, which I found kind of like wild that they went there, recorded like the fight that happened. Eventually, they got separated by, I think, a stranger that saw the fight from the Max. He got off the Max and stopped the fight. And then I think the like dean and administrative got like involved in all that. But it took a while for like somebody to step in and stop the fight. And it wasn't a student, it was an adult that ended up stopping the fight.
Do you guys see like your schools doing anything about the issues, or do they just kind of not talk about it?
Many don't talk about it. I feel like it's kept like between the adults and the students involved, not really like anybody saying anything throughout the school about it.
Would you say that your schools are relatively safe, or do you guys feel safe, or know someone you can talk to if you feel unsafe?
To be
Well,
honest,
sorry.
you can go.
Well, at Tigard, I feel like it's relatively safe because we're kind of in a secluded area, kind of, and you don't really like see people around. So, and occasionally, like you'll have like the occasional fight, but it's not really like a big like problem.
For me, I feel like it's in the middle because my school's like in the middle of Portland, kind of. And it's like where people go like to that school. There's people that from all over Portland that go there. So I feel like mainly the safety is like on public transportation. But besides that, there hasn't been anything like severely bad that's happened around the school.
Yeah. I think that's something that like we talked about a lot, especially at the town hall and when we interviewed the students. They did talk a lot about like the public transportation and how there needs to be some changes made in order to feel safer in those environments. So thank you for sharing us your perspective, and we will definitely keep that in mind. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to add before we move on to the next topic? No?
No.
At the town hall meeting, we also spoke about another thing, which was education and the future of education. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been a lot of changes made in the administration, like federally, which means that they're trying to get rid of a lot of programs like summer programming or after school programming. So some examples of those would be like the SUN programs or REAP itself. And they also want to cut funding for schools that focus on like ethnic groups and things like that. And from what we got from the 3 students that we interviewed is that we want that not to happen because a lot of students use these programs as a distraction from like what's going on at home, or these programs help opportunities and people feel like they have a community. So what do you guys think about that?
I think for me, it's really frustrating to kind of see that we have a lot of our communities set with all of these after school programs, and just having them be cut down into almost nothing. Like it's really frustrating to see, because kind of speaking on what like my school, like we don't have after school programs. We don't have like some of the classes that are necessary to graduate. And that's not necessarily just due to budget cutting, but also due to our staff like that we have, our faculty. So it's one of those things where it's really, really frustrating, and it's really hard to kind of see like why that's happening, because it's $1.6 billion that's being taken out of school funding, which is really needed, and that's across all 50 states too. So it's just like why are we taking out that money for whatever it's going to? Like I don't even know what it's going to.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, why?
I feel like SUN is very important to students, not only because you're learning stuff, but you're also building yourself up. You're building character. Like a lot of SUN programs, you start really young in them. Like I know for REAP, I started in 7th grade, but it slowly built me up to opportunities like doing this podcast. And if kids don't have that opportunities, they could go into other things that are not really good for kids our age or for development. And some programs can also help develop your social life, because you know there's a lot of quiet people. I was one of the quiet kids, 7th grade. I really wouldn't do anything, but with REAP, I managed to talk to new people, gain new experiences, and build myself up.
And also to add on, yeah, like SUN schools really helped change my life somehow, and we've also made that possible because, as Annette said, I was low-key a quiet kid, but REAP has like impacted me a lot. Like I'm able to speak in front of a lot of people, got over my fears of that. And also helping me with my schoolwork, because I know before REAP I was doing nothing at all. Like all the work, it was hard for me and I couldn't like process it. But with REAP, that YC, they really helped me like do my work, make a plan, and set goals for myself. And it really changed me for that. And I think if we got rid of some program, a lot of kids like that wouldn't have a chance to like give up easily and like like try and just give up.
I think even I've seen it happen. I've always been like a pretty well-rounded student, but I know some other, peers of mine really rely on this program, and it's very beneficial. Just like they really help you try to get better while also building that connection with like the YC, your Youth Essential Coordinator. I know I didn't really need help academically, but socially I was kind of an outcast, not gonna lie. But I learned how to like build that skill in talking to people and being in that vulnerable space. And that all started like in REAP, where I met a few new people, and I usually went to my YAC for, that support I needed, just like the little extra push. And that goes a really long way because without his recommendation, I wouldn't be in the position where I am right now.
Mhm.
So I think getting rid of that would just be not just harmful, but also really dumb. Not to throw any shade, but I'm throwing shade. Because if you really think about it, you're taking away one of the most like the foundation of what builds up a person, like socially, and it could also affect them academically. So if you take that support away, then it's like you kind of have to like guess where you're going next.
Yeah, I know, to kind of add off of what she was saying, like I was also kind of that social outcast. I was the person that was kind of like that third wheel in the friend group. I wouldn't talk a lot. I would just kind of be there. I'd have a few friends here and there. That was all in middle school and elementary school. I just kind of kept to myself and just didn't really say anything. And kind of being a part of these programs and like being able to talk to people that I can trust has also definitely built up my confidence to be able to be open with any person really. And it's just, I think just that some programs are just extremely beneficial to not just people in REAP or in those programs, but to like literally everybody. And I think everybody could use that little bit of leadership, and whether that's like stopping those fights, advocating for yourself, or like all those sorts of things. It just kind of comes down to like, do you want that? Is this something that you really want, or do you just want to be that bystander and just kind of watch it all happen?
I want to ask if, because I know, like as also a Tiger student, there's not many programs like REAP. So well, REAP is in the TTSD district, but it's not, going to the high school level. So I want to know if like there are any programs, Sebastian, if you know, or Amir, if you have any like programs that are like REAP, like after school, like support and all that.
Well, like a program that helped me personally is Mecha. Mecha is it's an after school affinity group for Latino and Hispanic. And I've been in it for I think 4 years now, since 6th grade, and I feel like that's helped me build for who I am today. And that's kind of like the only like program that I can think of that is similar to like REAP. But
For me, it'd be also like an after school affinity group called Early Escalera, also Escalera for 11 to 10, 12th graders. Uh, it helps kids strive academically and socially with like taking us to different events and helping us with college and all that for scholarships.
Yeah. In your guys' perspective, how would budget cuts affect the programs that you're in, and how would it affect you personally?
well, I'm not sure if it would affect like groups that I'm in. Oh, sorry. But because the groups like Mecha, I know that they kind of rely on their own fundraising. So I'm not really sure how it would affect something like that.
I think for mine, it might have like might be like greatly impacted from budget cuts because early Escalera and Escalera they're both tied in with another program called Latino Network, which also serves like other schools after school programs. So
Mhm.
that would limit a bunch of stuff that can be done after school and help support kids, along with like other like extracurricular like activities that we usually do. And like with employees too, like how many mentors or teachers there can be for school to help students out too.
I think asking that question, I think we can also ask that to us too. Like, how do you see it affecting like your schools and your community? For me, like I'm kind of already at that point where we already have those cuts, and like I said, we have very limited amount of staff that we staff that we have. So it's like it's super difficult to get the credits that you need. Like one of the classes that we don't have is PE, and that's a super important one. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, well, like they're just kind of having us do it on our own, and it's like not a lot of people can do that. Like it's just super difficult to kind of be like, okay, actually we can't do this, so here we go, we're going to put it on you, and we're just going to let you do this.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I think it's one of those things where it's just not going to be followed through with, and then it's like, okay, well, you got to stay until you get those credits, and then it's like, well, shoot, like how am I going to get those credits?
Mhm.
Again, it's just really, really frustrating.
Yeah.
Are there any classes at your schools like that would personally affect you if like they got cut due to like all the new legislative like laws that are getting written up? Like at Beaverton, we have like, do you guys have like CTE programs at your schools? Because we have CTE programs at Beaverton, and I think like the budget cut and all that will definitely affect a lot of us. Like I'm in my health careers program, and budget cut will definitely affect like our uniforms that we get because there's two pathways. There's the advanced, and then there's health career one. And in advanced, you get scrubs, and this year we got them for free. But if like the cuts are being made, I think they'll go back to paying, and that's like 130, and not all students can afford that. So like, are there like things like that at your guys' schools that could affect you or like your peers?
At my school, we also have CTE programs. So I think if it comes into action, the budget cuts, it would be hard because we also have like health occupation classes. So for scrubs, we we got told we usually get those for free, but it would be pretty difficult if some students aren't able to pay for them and would have to pay for the scrubs and shoes. So that would be one way it would be impacted. Another way, I think with other CTE classes like construction, manufacturing, I think for them to get their resources or like other materials that they need for their classes, if they get cut, they would need to find like other ways to get those resources stuff class.
In my school, uh, we have an auto shop, and I feel like if we do get budget cuts, I feel like it'd be harder to be able to like for the auto shop to be able to like repair cars, and also in our construction class, it'd be hard for them to get materials like wood and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I think that even if it may not affect us personally, I think it's something that we still have to keep in mind and we still have to do things to move forward. So an example of this would be the hands-off protests that have been going around or that have been going on everywhere in the United States. So these protests were basically pushing to make sure that the administration, the federal administration, isn't in charge of the education, because what they want to do is get rid of certain clubs like BSU, Mecha, and then like any other affinity groups, ethnic groups, and if they don't get rid of them, then schools will lose federal funding, which can lead to like budget cuts. So some staff will have to be let go, or different programs or classes, like you said, PE, you don't have it at your school. And I think that closes doors for a lot of people who use these classes and programs for opportunities that they can get because they don't have any other way. And we spend most of our time at school, so school should be a place where you can find new opportunities and strive to become better and look out for your future. So I think we should be doing something to find a solution.
I absolutely agree with you. I mean, I think you just said it perfectly. Like, budget cuts are really going to affect each and every one of our schools, and it's a really big thing.
Mhm. Yeah,
I know. Oh,
go ahead.
I know that in Tigard, there's a lot of budget cuts happening, and last year, one of our teachers had gotten like cut, but they work half time at Tigard now, and then they work at Tualatin, and he's like the advisor for a program we run called Intercombio that is for middle schools that feed into the high schools. So like Fowler Middle School and Tualatin Middle School, they go those middle school students go to the high school level and they get mentored. So it's like a mentee mentor program where they can get help with homework as well as build a connection to a student in the high school. So like a junior, and they could like see them in a year. It's eighth graders that go, and then 11th to 12th graders that like mentor them. So it's like an easier transition for them to get to the high school. And the advisor for that had gotten cut, so he works like part-time at Tigard now. And I think that's really bad because I don't know, having to go between high schools just to like, get a little bit of money while also being able to be an educator. I think that's really hard. And then also, I know that our school is offering classes next year, like a lot of new ones, but it's not guaranteed that they will happen because we are making cuts to teachers. And if those cuts get made, then how are we going to have enough teachers to teach those classes? So it's just very harmful to, have those budget cuts. But I feel like some students come to realize like it's kind of hopeless. Like that's kind of how I felt for a good while. And I'm like, well, what are we really going to do? We can't really do anything. But I feel like if we just keep talking about it, then something eventually will get done.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that as long as we keep on educating people on what's going on, then we can work together to find a solution. It's the same thing with like climate change. Like as long as you talk about it, um, it's a step forward. It's not enough. You still have to continue to take action. So,
Mhm.
so yeah. Is there anything else that you guys want to add? Or you guys, Sebastian, Amir, anything else?
Well, yeah, I feel like budget cuts. I feel like some people don't really like know that but I'm sorry. I feel like some people don't know that budget cuts are happening, so they don't know how it's gonna personally affect them. So, like, I'm pretty sure it was last year. Um, one of the language classes, I think it was Japanese. The teacher who taught the first Japanese class, she got cut. So no one, freshmen who were coming in, weren't able to take the first Japanese class to be able to continue taking Japanese their whole year, their whole high school, the whole time they were in high school. So I feel like that's kind of um, sorry.
It's okay. Thank you for your input. Amir, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I agree with what Sebastian was saying, like how some people don't know about the budget cuts happening. Um, it was like 2 days ago, we were talking with our Avid teacher. Our Avid teacher was talking with us about like how one of the school counselors was going into retirement, and that one of like I think it was the Avid 12 teacher, was also like the coordinator for like field trips and everything, was going to have to fill in that position. So it's like basically 3 jobs for her, like being a counselor for like 200 or like 500 students, being an educator, Avid teacher, and coordinating field trips, which is like a really big thing for one person to do, because the district can't like give us another counselor due to the budget cuts happening. So I think it's like a really big thing with
Mhm.
uh like faculty, basically, with like teachers not being able to like the positions not being able to fill it because of budget cuts.
Yeah, I think that's something that's going to be felt everywhere in the United States. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, as long as we continue to strive to find action, then this is something that um, we can find a solution to. So, do you guys want to move on to the next topic?
Yes, and we will be talking about my favorite topic, food toppings. So I would like to ask you, Sebastian, Emil, what type of toppings do you like on your nachos or anything else?
Well, I mean, honestly, on nachos, usually I would like something that would be filling. So maybe like chicken or something.
Chicken.
Tell me this: do you like your school nachos or you like at a store nachos? Like you could pick some up at the store.
I'd say I really just really need nachos at school. And I think that's the only place I would choose to like live in nachos, since I don't really eat them anywhere else. Um, but I'd say they're pretty good at school. They're not the best, but they're not the worst.
Yeah, I really like the school nachos, and I think we can all agree because it's like when you're having a rough day at school, you're hungry, right? And the school nachos, just something about them just satisfy and make you happy.
Okay, I disagree with that because at my school, the nachos over there is just a block of cheese. It's not even hot or melted or nothing. The second you flip it over, it just comes out like a huge block of cheese. And like the chips are so cold and brittle. I mean, not brittle, but like it's not crunchy enough.
Like stale?
It's like yeah, it's stale.
Ew.
That's just unfortunate.
That's
This has one of the best nachos I've ever had. The cheese, perfect. The nachos, God bless them. They're that good.
I think the last time that I had actual like public school cafeteria nachos was when I was in 7th grade, and I would eat them all day every day until there was a point where I just ate them and then I just felt sick because I would eat them like every day. I wouldn't really change it up, and then I had to move to Uncrustables, and I went back to nachos because I was like, okay, let's see if I can do this, and I was able to have nachos again. But it's been a very long time since I've had like nachos like that. It's
yeah. I think personally nachos is like a safe food, and I feel like everyone can like it, and maybe not school nachos, right? But when you can customize them, like I like to put cheese and sour cream and jalapenos and like meat, beans sometimes,
Yeah.
but
has to
depends
be
how I'm feeling.
refried beans.
Yes.
I cannot do black beans. I can't.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But yeah, same thing with pizza. What's your guys' favorite pizza toppings?
Meat lovers. I gotta go meat lovers. I'm sorry.
I put chicken, jalapeno, some bell peppers on mine.
Mm,
But sometimes I like to switch up the sauce instead of tomato. I put Alfredo.
yes, Alfredo
Okay,
sauce and chicken, and then like the crust, you could get it like
Oh.
cheese, like
Yeah,
yeah,
cheese
really
stuff.
good. Sebastian, Amir, what do you guys think? What's your favorite pizza toppings? Like if you were to go down the street and order a pizza, what toppings would you get?
well, whenever I order pizza, I usually I don't like tomato sauce sometimes on my pizza, so I usually order with Alfredo sauce. And I mean, the toppings kind of vary on like how I feel. So like sometimes I'll go meat lovers pizza if I'm like really hungry, but
Thank you. Yeah.
or usually I just go with a veggie pizza if I'm not really hungry. But it just kind of depends on how I feel.
For me, it's like between two different choices. It's either the combo or customized one where I usually just put like chicken, bell peppers, occasionally mushrooms, and what was the last thing? Oh, onions.
Tell me this, you guys like pineapple on your pizza?
Oh yeah, pineapple. That's what I forgot. Pineapple.
Sometimes I put pineapple on pizza.
And kind of as we're talking about this, kind of talking about those safe foods, I think ice cream and frozen yogurt is also one of those really good safe foods. I personally love to eat ice cream or frozen yogurt when I'm kind of feeling sad, and just kind of lightens up my mood once I'm done eating it. Kind of the things that I love putting on mine is usually Nerds, because frozen yogurt places usually charged by the pound. So if you want to kind of go a cheaper option, get the ice cream or the frozen yogurt, and then get something light, so it doesn't cost as much, and you can still get the full experience. Frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
I get everything in my frozen yogurt. I get like the biggest cup, fill it up with cookies cream. That's it. I'm basic, but like sometimes I add like white chocolate chips, gummy worms, gummy bears, some Oreo.
Everything.
Yeah, I put everything. I put pop and boba as well.
It's a great recipe for cavities.
Every time I got a sweet tooth.
Yeah. On my frozen yogurt, I like to do half and half. So I do half pineapple, half cake batter, and then I'll put like topping boba and strawberries and pineapple chunks.
Last time I had frozen yogurt, I was 11, and I'm 16 now, so it's been a long time. So I'm like, I'm just waiting for that day to have frozen yogurt again.
Yeah. What about you guys? What do you guys put on your frozen yogurt or ice cream?
I get cake batter for my frozen yogurt, and then I put Heath bars, like the crushed up ones, and then I put like fresh strawberries to like balance it out because like the Heath is like so sweet. Plus like the cake batter for you, and then like the strawberries just like a hint of freshness.
Sebastian, and Amir, what do you guys add on your ice cream or frozen yogurt?
Well, when I usually get frozen yogurt, like I actually had frozen yogurt for the first time like a few months ago. I actually don't remember what type of frozen yogurt I got, but for like toppings, I just kind of added like syrup and popping boba, and that's it. I kind of basic, but it was pretty good. It was really good.
My go-to like ice cream flavor is mint chocolate chip, and I usually like either add more chocolate chips to it or sprinkles. I don't really eat frozen yogurt, so for me it's ice cream over frozen yogurt.
Yeah. Do you guys like mint chocolate chip?
That's top 3.
Top
Yeah.
3.
I got a great top 3.
It's like bottom. I'm not eating toothpaste as ice cream.
What do you mean eating toothpaste?
It's
I mean,
not.
It's completely
It
different.
is different.
But
It
did
is.
you hear the frozen yogurt recipe? Like,
It tastes like toothpaste to me.
Oh,
You're
you're using the wrong toothpaste. I personally, I think mint chocolate chip is pretty good. Not my first option. If I were to go to an ice cream place, my first option would probably be like a strawberry cheesecake or something like that, or like a pineapple, like anything pineapple. I
I was
really
gonna say
like.
you like pineapples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and pineapple on pizza. Yeah.
What
With
about
jalapenos.
cheesecake? But the strawberry. I don't know.
Puree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like cheesecake too.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up? No.
No.
Okay, we wanted to make an announcement. Do you want to talk about the announcement, Yanet?
Yeah, so our first one would be there's a next podcast on May 24th. We'll be talking about 3 different topics, 3 new ones to keep y'all engaged. And another one is the Black Youth Suicide Prevention Coalition. It'll be here at REAP at May 10th. It's a town hall meeting, and we hope that we'll see you 2 there and many more. And
Don't forget to tell your friends and family, just to make sure, like I said, educate people on what's going on, and that's the first step to take action.
Absolutely.
as well as follow us on Instagram at reap_INC. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope we'll see you again. That is it.
You guys have a good day.
Bye.